Hello Mouses! Legal News Day, because it's Monday. So we're going to start straight off with information from the BBFC that it's no longer going to be rating video games in the UK because PEGI is now officially taking over and it's becoming a criminal offence to sell any game to anyone that is under the age that's written in the PEGI logo. So that's good news, isn't it? Well, yes and no. I, for one, am one of those people who thinks that ratings for video games are not in any way a good idea in terms of telling you what's actually in the game. When I was a kid, we had all kinds of violent games and I played them. I knew the difference between fantasy and reality, so games didn't affect me like that. Sexual content, yes, I can imagine that my parents would not have been happy with me seeing that. And to a certain extent, I've seen them when they look at video games that some of my younger family members have seen and been playing. And yes, I totally agree. Stuff like Grand Theft Auto is probably not a good idea to be in the hands of a 12-year-old and things like that, or even younger. So, for one, I'm welcoming this move to make it actually a criminal offence for bad parents to be able to buy and give to their children stupid video games that they shouldn't have. And also, I'm glad there's now a criminal offence to sell these games directly to children. There's always going to be the bad parent problem because, let's face it, you go into a video game store and they say, oh, you're buying this for your kids? You say, no, I'm buying it for myself. There you go. As long as they're not stupid enough to admit that they're buying it for a child and therefore trying to circumvent the law, there's not much you can do about it. And to a certain extent, how many of us just buy things off Amazon? Amazon can't age check you. If I say, oh, I'm 27, then how would Amazon not know that? I'm not 27, I'm 31. It can't check. But equally, if I was 13 and I said I was 18, how do they know? I'm using a card to buy it, but it won't be my card. My parents are doing it for me. There's nothing they can do. So, to a certain extent, this law's not actually going to change much, especially in the modern world. But at least it's a step in the right direction. And talking of steps that are in the right direction, let's talk about some that aren't. Google, in October of 2010, picked up a huge amount of data that it shouldn't have from unsecured wireless networks while it was doing its Street View roaming car thing. It picked up emails, passwords, and all kinds of other naughty things that it shouldn't have had because it picked up local wireless internet connections. And it kept the data. Now, I, for one, am quite angry at this. I didn't have my data taken by Google, as far as I'm aware, because my networks are passworded. And I make sure that everything's secure, because I just don't want general people in the street seeing what I'm doing. Privacy is important, so I take it seriously. But not everyone knows how to password their wireless connections, and sometimes people get in, like Google. But here's the thing. In November of 2010, Google signed an agreement with the Information Commissioner's Office saying that it would get rid of all this data, and it would have it gone by December of 2010. It's still there. Over 18 months later, Google have admitted to the Information Commissioner that it didn't get rid of it all. I don't know how much it didn't get rid of. Maybe it's one or two emails. Maybe it's most of them. Who knows? No one's saying. But the Information Commissioner's Office has now said, hand over everything. Give it to us now. And perhaps, if you're really, really lucky, this won't go too far for you. Google have done something massively, massively wrong here. To the point where I would say, this is potentially criminal. And they then didn't get rid of it. What have they been doing? What on earth have they been doing to have not got rid of this information? They shouldn't have had it in the first place. Why have they got it? What were they doing with it? And why have they needed to keep it? I'd like to know all of this. I think it's important that we, the public, know what these people have been doing with what is basically the data of the public. So, let's look out for what happens with that, because the Information Commissioner's Office is not going to let this one drop. So, I'm looking forward to the result of that. And because I ranted a bit about PEGI and irresponsibility, irresponsibility being our theme for today. Irresponsible companies, irresponsible parents. I think we'll have to leave it at that because we're running out of time. So, I hope you liked this video, and I will be reporting back when I hear more information about this Google fiasco. So do remember to click subscribe so you see that in the future. If you like this video, click the like button and share it with your friends so that they know what's been going on too. Until tomorrow, I've been Kirk-Robinson. You've been watching a video. I'll see you later.